In the world of makeup artistry, one name rises above the rest. I'm Penny Lane and welcome to In the Driver's Seat. Four-time Makeup Artist of the Year, renowned author, the longest-serving makeup director in the world's largest cosmetic company, inventor, and sitting in multiple halls of fame, Rae Morris is a cut above the rest. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. What an amazing intro. You could be my agent. That was fabulous. Thank you so much.
You are amazing, Rae. I've been a fan of yours for a long, long time. So thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, just to kick it straight off, your first business wasn't in makeup, was it?
No, I was a hairdresser. I had a salon from a very, very young age. And yeah, I had a salon at the age of 17 and makeup kind of happened accidentally.
How did the makeup happen?
I always say this, it's 2 seconds of Naomi Campbell's life that she's never remembered. I was doing hair for a job actually in Istanbul, and Naomi Campbell's one of the judges, and she looked over and there was a quick moment of quick fix my lips, and I had never done makeup before, but I was too scared to say no. And I noticed there was like a clear lip glossy thing, and she was very distracted on the phone. I literally touched her lips. That's all I did, and then got photographed doing that, and then started to get booked as this international makeup artist. So I kind of thought, yeah, I better go learn how to become a makeup artist really quick, and that's what I did.
Good on you. So an angry Naomi Campbell started off your makeup career?
Well, she was nice to me that day, but it was at the time where everyone was a little bit nervous of her, and she was such a big deal, so I thought I couldn't say no.
Yeah. Tell us about those early days trying to forge a distinctive career.
Look, I found it a little bit difficult for me for many reasons. I don't have a creative bone in my body. So makeup wasn't something I was attracted to. It again happened accidentally. So when I got this opportunity and started to get booked into doing makeup, I thought I better learn from the best. And I did some research, and a friend of mine had a contact called Richard Shara, and I advise any up-and-coming artist or any artist to Google him. He was a man, he's actually a colorblind artist, and he was the makeup artist for Ziggy Stardust. He invented the lightning bolt. I've seen all the photos. And I was really, really lucky to be one of his last students before he passed. And he said, I want you to move to Sydney. And I did. And the rest is kind of history. I still can't believe that I'm actually here and still working in this industry. Because for me, I always say, because I can't draw, I don't think I was very creative growing up. So if I can make it, anyone can.
Oh, that's very humble of you, but you are absolutely amazing at what you do, Rae. You really are. Now, women and some men, of course, apply makeup every day, but what does it take to be a successful makeup artist? And who are some of the famous people that you've worked on over the years?
I love this question because I honestly believe makeup in the role that I have is probably about 30 to 40% of what we do. At the end of the day, how do you make somebody feel? I think that's what's really important. And look, you can be just good at You can be good at your job. Doesn't mean you're going to get booked all the time. So it's things about being able to read a room, being known when to be the quiet person in the background. How do you make someone feel is really important. And also understanding brief. So I think for makeup skill, yes, it's important, of course, but I really believe there's so much more to a job than just being a makeup artist. You have to know lighting, creativity. You have to learn the client, the background, models, how to work with different ages, how to work under pressure. I think being a psychologist is probably a really good idea if you want to learn that as well, because it's definitely more than just makeup for sure.
Yeah, there's so much more to it. Is there anybody, because you've worked on everybody, Pink, Naomi Campbell, every star, you've worked on them. Is there anybody that you'd really like to make up, and why?
It's funny, I have a list, and you did ask me that question. I forgot to answer you about the people I've worked with. Look, I have a list, but I have it in my phone because I actually have my little wish list that sits there. I'm going to read it out to you because it's not just one person.
Yeah, so let's put it out there.
I'm drawn to someone who represents more than beauty. Like, I really love someone that makes the world a better place. So I obviously there's models I love to work on, but my first one actually is a singer. I'm really drawn to creative, talented people, and when I'm in a room with singers, my heart explodes. So Toni Braxton is my ride or die. Before I die, I would do anything to do her makeup. So Toni, if you're watching,
if you're
I will
watching,
fly
yeah.
myself. And then I've got on my list, I've got Paulina Poroskova, Chrissy Turlington. She was always my favorite model, always. She just had that face that I was always drawn to. I've got Julia Roberts, because my favorite actress, Amal, Donna Summer, and Diana Ross. That's actually my list, and I've had that a long time.
That's really interesting. I remember growing up in the UK, and when Diana Ross and all of those big singers were out, they always used to wear this like ruby red lipstick. And I remember saying to my mum, I want to wear that lipstick, but my lips were a different colour, obviously. But I always wanted that lip that you could only get on black skin. And I'm still wearing red lipstick
Naomi
today.
Campbell. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, I'll do that again. I worked a lot with Kelly Rowland, and she has this incredible lip mix. And she told me that Naomi Campbell taught her or gave her this lip recipe, and it's the Teddy Brown MAC eye pencil as the liner. And then she shades a whole lip in, and then she used, I think it was Ruby Woo just in the middle, and it gets that beautiful chocolate brown red fade. And I've used it so much since. So there's an actual tip straight from Kelly Rowland.
Thank you. I'll be using that myself. It's only taken me 50 years to get lips like that then. So how were you chosen to become L'Oreal's makeup director?
Well, I'm going to admit this. I wasn't their first choice. I think I was number 3. They actually confesses to me years down the track. I was quite young, and again with my career, another accidental thing happened. I went from doing sort of the Dolly magazine. I did a shoot on my own, and I went straight to Harper's and Vogue. So they had eyes on me pretty quickly, and they auditioned people, and I didn't know I was being auditioned. I thought I was just turning up for a L'Oreal job. And I remember what they did, I came, there was a shoot, there were lots of L'Oreal people on set, beautiful model, and all this new release makeup. And it was interesting because it was very colourful, and they just said, oh, can you do the makeup? And I did it, and I was really excited by colours and how I could play with it. And I remember saying to them, can I enhance this? Can I do this? Can I use this eyeshadow on the lips instead? And I just was trying to do the best I could. And then when I got the contract, I said, why did I get it? Was I better? Were the other ones worse? What happened? I didn't find out names, just fine. And they said that other artists just turned up and were like, well, I'm not going to use this. I don't love this color. I'm going to use this instead. And they kind of would try and impress the client with how creative I was. They were. And I knew that when you get a brand deal, you let the brand shine. And so I don't know who taught me that, but I just made sense to me. And they went from day one, they had a trust, and they knew that I'd be authentic, but also, really embrace the brand. And that's how I got the job. And apparently I'm a very good talker. I can talk a lot, so I'm not shy. So that kind of helped as well.
Yeah, you have got that charm about you. I remember watching you on stage about 20 years ago at a beauty expo, and you were on before me. And I was so blown away at the time of your kindness and how lovely it was, because I was so nervous about doing it. And then as soon as you left the stage and I got on, so did the crowd. So there was just me.
I bet they did. I probably bored them. They probably need to go to the bathroom.
No, you do captivate the audience. I've got a first-hand experience of that. Now, when you took the L'Oreal job, was there anything that worried you, like working for a big mainstream company like that? It can sometimes be.
Yeah, a lot did. It's a really big, I didn't kind of understand the level of it. Like, they have the world's biggest celebrities as ambassadors. The trust they had with me was really, I didn't realize I'd get that much responsibility. I did all their launches in front of beauty editors all the time. The hard part was it did always, my big L'Oreal campaigns and the shoots that happened for Australasia and Australia always happened at the same time of Paris Fashion Week. So I always had this moment of, am I missing out on something? And it's really crazy that we always think we're missing out on something. And now if I could talk to my younger self and said, you'd have the biggest contract ever for the longest time ever, I'd really enjoy that moment. So I think the toughest part would definitely have been the responsibility and how big it was, and how they also gave me all the decisions, which was awesome. And then I had to run all their shows. So I directed over 150 fashion weeks for them, and had eventually had a team of 60. And I learned so much, and I was very grateful because they literally held my hand and trusted my decisions. So that was great. And by the way, I left the contract after 11 years. I thought it was really hard. I thought, I actually want to leave while I'm loving it, because I'd hate to be there for 20 years and they go 20 more years. They go, great, it's time to go. So I thought it was a really, really hard decision, but I did actually decide to leave that job just because it would free me up to do other things.
To do other things, yeah. And what about your style? How would you describe your style? Is it about the client, or have you got your own distinctive style?
I have a theory. That's a really good question. The makeup I'm drawn into, I'm kind of extremes. So I love really chic, timeless. For me, I think there's makeups that just carry forever. I look at women like Julia Roberts, Helen Mirren, just throwing off names here, Angelina Jolie. They don't change it too much. So I feel there's always this elegant, timeless makeup that I'm really attracted to. But then I'm also completely the other way. Not so much Instagram makeup. I do a lot of creative editorial work, and I like to try and find something that no one's kind of done before. I'm working a lot with AI right now. I like to really push it. So I find there's a little bit of an extreme with how I work, but I'm definitely attracted to more timeless looks, what suits the face. I don't like trends. It's just not something I've ever been drawn to.
Yeah, I think if you chase trends in anything, you're always going to burn out, aren't you? So it's good that you've got that. You've got that look about yourself, even, Rae. Now, a book as well.
Can I just add to that one quick thing? With trends, I always think of it like this. If you get a haircut that's really on trend, you can recognize that on someone and go, oh, that haircut looks great. I saw that at the Met Gala. I saw that on Vogue. But then I don't think I've ever had anyone come up to me and said, oh, your makeup's so on trend. I saw that lip at the Prada show. I just feel makeup is just something that, it's how you want to feel and how you feel that day, and it's interchangeable. So that's why I don't follow trends.
Yeah, and you can change people's whole demeanour, can't you? Just with how they look and feel so much just with makeup.
Absolutely.
But tell me about, I'm scared that we're going to run out of time, and I've got so many questions for you. Tell me about the books, and did you ever imagine becoming a best-selling author?
No, I'll sum that one up pretty quick. I'm dyslexic and I failed school, and I was asked by Alan and Alma would I write a book on makeup. So I've got 6 books under my belt. The last one I self-published. And I also thought I'd never sell one. And I know the first book is still the bestseller. It's gone bestseller over 10 times. It's in makeup schools around the world. So yeah, it's something, I recorded it I recorded it then typed it out later. The funny thing is the ghostwriter who helped me with grammar said that she took out the word shit something like 400 times. So, but yeah, it's funny that, you just don't ever worry about the results. So yeah, the books have done really well.
Congratulations. Now, we've only got a couple of minutes left, and I have to touch on your fantastic makeup, right? I have to touch on your fantastic brushes that are sold in Mecca and in stores internationally. Congratulations. Tell me how that came about, because there's a real story behind that, and we've got about 60 seconds left.
Okay, so these are calligraphy brushes. There is 60 steps to each brush. They're made by the last living Japanese master of craft who can make a brush called a tempera ude brush. There's one behind me. He's the only man in the world that can do this. And with many years of convincing, he's done this brush range for me. It's the world's first magnetic. It's also a world's first hair. Think of it as like a vegan fiber with a cuticle. It's won many awards. And the reason for magnetic is it's just for organization. Because they're built like a calligraphy brush, they cut the blending in half. I'd actually say more than that. And the artists that use my brushes, that have my brushes, are people from Val Garland, Mario, who we all love. Oh my God, I've got Kelly Rowland. There's so many, I've just gone blank all of a sudden. Makeup artist, Val Garland, Dottie. I've got artists all around the world that love them.
Amazing. As you with the makeup artists in the studio, have all been really close to the set, and as you brought your brushes up there, everybody just came closer to the screen.
Thank you. Right. And they stand up.
I've got them. They are absolutely fantastic. Rae, I could speak to you all day long. We'll have to catch up for a coffee soon. Thank you so much for coming on in the driver's seat. Thank you, Rae Morris.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Penny.
In the Driver's Seat is brought to you by the Perfect Cosmetics Company. This is Ticker, and we'll be right back.
You're watching Ticker. We'll have more in just a few minutes.